health system doesn't care about you, and if you don't get in the best shape of your life, you're screwed. You're screwed because the health system profits off of sickness, right? There are cures for everything, literally, or majority of things, if no new diseases came out. Cancer, AIDS, all of it. They have cures for all of it, but they don't profit off of it if they give it to everyone, if they heal everyone. Why do you think they just prescribe pills? Because you can get addicted to it. Painkillers, which leads to depression, antidepressants, bipolarness, all types of wicked stuff to suppress the pain, suppress the urge. Coping, it's a coping mechanism. When you can push your body in the gym to its natural limit, you're unstoppable. You can literally do anything. Mind you, naturally, of course. Even when you're taking stuff, you still have to put in a lot of work, but it's better to just be naturally because it shows more discipline. And that you don't have to try to cheat per se. And then you taking those anabolic steroids literally jeopardizes your health too. So it's like you're still putting yourself in a health crisis. So that's why you need to take your health so seriously. You really do. Most of this food is processed. Yes, you're going to have to go to Whole Food stores or go to your regular store and just get non-processed stuff. They try to poison us. It's crazy how we, us in America try to be considered the richest country in the world when at this point, all the trillions of dollars in debt we're in, ain't that something, right? We still need to make more money because guess what? If they actually did have the cure in America for these said diseases, fatal diseases that are very common, guess what? All the doctors in the hospitals would be foreclosed and go out of business because we wouldn't need them. We wouldn't need them, Same with the government. The government doesn't have good intentions for the citizens of that said city, state, or county. They just don't, and it's just like you never want to have someone else control your life. That's the worst because most people don't have good intentions. And that's been since the beginning of time. It's always everyone's in it for themselves, but most people are in it for themselves while trying to put other people down instead of actually doing something great to improve themselves, but also without putting people down and uplifting them, like in the fitness realm. I mean, this is goes for fitness too, right? Sometimes people get very, especially if you're like trying to do bodybuilding and all of that. Yeah, it's competitive, but it's also to the point where some people will try to give you false information just so you don't, see good gains for yourself, right? Some people are like that. I've never personally ran into anyone in fitness who is like that, but not saying they're not there. I mean, they have those type of people in every side of life, every side of business, with intentions of just, doing everything they can to just wipe you out, take you out. It's a very brutal game. And you have to understand that in the way of life. If not, you're going to be fried, cooked, toasted, chewed, and spit immediately right back out. Fitness is one of those things where it's gotten very popular since COVID. And, this is the time to really lock it in because like I said in my last video, by the time you're in your, by the grace of God, make it to your 40s, 50s, 60s, man, you're going to want to be in the best shape of your life. When your testosterone naturally starts to drop by the age of 40, just before, just after that, it's one of those things where it's like, you don't want to let your body go. You don't. You can be in the rare percent. That's what I'm all about, being in the rare percent. I don't really trust, I don't trust the medical field like that, personally, because of that. And it's the system, right? People who go to medical school are taught this, so we can't even always blame the nursing students or medical students, because if this is what they're being taught, if this is the curriculum, then it's like we need to change the whole system, because they're just doing what they're taught, right? Prescribing different type of pills and medication and all this stuff that doesn't always cure, or most of the time doesn't cure, but it just becomes more of a detriment, get you addicted and hooked. So now you have to, pay more for a new subscription, pay more for this, right? It's like a circle. It's like the rat race. It's literally like the rat race of health. So with that being said, man, you have to focus on your health. Make it the biggest priority. 80-20 or 90-10, 80 to 90% whole healthy foods, 10 to 20%, whatever you want. It's a lifestyle. You have to make it a lifestyle. It takes a lot of discipline, but man, you're not gonna regret your health, man, because health is wealth. You know, if you have the money, but you're not in health and you're using most of that money to get healthy, by that time you're already old anyway. So it's like, bro, you should have been doing that when you were younger as well, right? You know, so never take your health for granted, man. When you get older and your body starts to catch up to you, it'll start to show, okay, who's really been putting in a lot of the work the previous years. But that's the end of this video. I hope y'all enjoyed it. Comment, like, subscribe. Comment down any other future videos you may want to see. Share this video if this resonated with you. And, well, save it if this resonated with you. Share it to anyone who needs to see this video. If this is something that y'all are interested in when it comes to the fitness side of things and, you know, my personal takes, my story about fitness and my personal experience, you know, let me know down below and subscribe to the channel, because we're going to keep it more fitness oriented compared to all the other content that I've made in the past, at least, you know, for the time being. And until next time, I'm going to see y'all in the next one.